Willie D Live.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio, G-Dash.
What's up, Willie?
What's up, King? How you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
Hey, man, I can't call it. I might spoil it. Man, it's good to see you again. Good to see you. Man, what's the secret, man, to you looking so young? What you do?
Oh man, I drink a lot of water. Try to stay stress free. Don't let nothing bother me.
Yeah, you serious about that, man, huh?
Yeah.
You serious about that energy.
Yeah. Just about living life, man.
Yeah. Man, let's get started, man. Swishahouse, man. Y'all made history. Y'all did it.
Yes, sir. And it haven't stopped yet. We're gonna continue to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, where are we now with Swishahouse? What chapter are we in?
The chapter I'm in, I'm really about trying to exploit all type of opportunities as far as like television, movies. I'm gonna go ahead and probably get back into producing artists. You know, I kind of took a hiatus because I just didn't like dealing with the nonsense that come with dealing with artists sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just looking for some good loyal artists though. This time around, I'm gonna make sure their character is intact before I proceed to even get involved with them and invest my money.
Yeah. Well, you know, you've dealt with some artists that had some good character. You know, like
oh yeah, for sure.
But you dealt with some of the. I mean, how does it feel, man, to be like responsible for some of the biggest names in Houston hip hop that also became national successes? Like, I mean, we're talking Slim Thug, we're talking Mike Jones, we're talking Paul Wall, Lil Keke. You know, y'all, that's damn near half the H-Town legends right there.
Oh yeah. Nah,
you know?
I feel proud to have been a part of that whole situation because, and I like the fact that I see these guys still striving and succeeding, even after they parted ways with Swishahouse. They're still being successful. I mean, I like that. I mean, it makes me feel proud that I was involved in their early careers, and to see them now, yeah, I mean, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, and all those guys got that independent spirit that Swishahouse had.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they was in it. They was in it. I mean, I believe none of us really ever wanted to sign no deals. We love the independent game. I mean, the independent game, you see more money, you have more creativity, you could drop when you want to drop. Because back in the day, you know, we didn't have, it wasn't no such thing as no release date for us. We dropped whenever we wanted to drop. But then when you got with the major labels, you know, they had particular times they wanted you to drop on a Tuesday or this particular day or push your music back and we're not going to drop it because this person came out. We don't want it to affect your sales. Hey, man, we didn't give a damn. We just dropped.
Yeah. One of the biggest, I guess, I was about to say drop, but I guess it's more like a defections was Mike Jones. Like, that threw me off when Mike stepped away, you know, from Swishahouse because if I'm not mistaken, it was right after the first album, right? Or during the first album.
Yeah, well, I mean...
What came first?
After the album.
Okay, so it was after the album
yeah.
Mike took off.
Yeah. No, he never officially left. He left, but he was still in a contractual agreement with us.
Right. Well, when he went and started Ice Age,
yeah,
he went and did his own thing, but he was still with y'all because contractually he had to stay with y'all.
Yeah.
But you know, but in his heart he was gone.
Yeah.
What happened?
His ego. I'm gonna say it is probably his ego. I feel like he had this notion that he was gonna build his name off of us and then part ways before we even actually did the deal because we was independent and he really had less than 3 months left on his contract with us before I signed that deal that I signed. And the only reason why I signed that deal is because to lock him in because that made the contract he was on with us already conform to the new agreements. And that's why I did what I did.
How many additional albums?
5.
So when Mike decided to leave, now who It's you? Who's in command here at Swishahouse? It's you and who else?
Michael Watts.
You and Michael Watts.
Yeah.
And y'all making all of the decisions.
And T. Ferris at the time, too.
T. Ferris.
Yeah.
But T. Ferris was A&R, right?
Yeah, but he became the president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all come together, okay, look, this is what we're faced with. Okay, what do y'all want to do? And so was there a general consensus that, yeah, we're going to just let him go and go ahead and do his own thing and we're just going to have to work out something? Or was it like, let's fight for him not to even do that? Was somebody under the, notion, did somebody operate with the idea of just putting him on the shelf?
No.
That was never an option.
No. We didn't want to put him on the shelf. And then we wasn't tripping with him because at the end of the day, no matter what he do, we're going to eat off of it. So we never thought of shelving him or stopping him from doing what he was doing. We actually gave him his own creative control to do what he want to do and put his projects out how he want to put them out. It's just that, these major labels, they play that divide and conquer game, man. And we was in bed with Asylum at the time.
Which was Asylum Warner, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and soon as we signed the deal, they already had attorneys in his ear trying to divide us, basically saying that he wasn't no longer a contractual agreement. We had to fight for that to prove that he was, and that's why he had to stay. But I gave him his own creative control to put his projects out how he want to put them out. And that kind of hurt him because that held him back. Because had I been in charge, his next project would have been out probably 6 months after that last album came out.
And he waited was it 2 years before he put that
it took about 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Two years or more.
I remember thinking, what is taking so long? I remember thinking that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of time in between releasing those albums.
Yeah. And then it was a lot of internal fighting with us. And I couldn't understand the way the labels was thinking. Like, why would you want to break this chemistry up? Because this is what got him to this point. You know what I mean? So I never understood why they wanted to separate, divide. And they wasn't just coming at Mike. They came at Paul, too. But, Paul kept it 100, stayed down, and wrote it out with us.
Mm-hmm. When Mike did that Who Mike Jones, and then that Tipping on Four Fours, right?
Yeah.
Was that more of him or more of you guys?
That was us.
Yeah.
That was us. That Still Tipping actually came from a freestyle that Slim had did. That was the hook off of a freestyle that Slim Thug had did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a song that was on one of our compilation albums called The Day Hell Broke Loose Part 2. So the only reason why we put it on his album because we had the momentum of the song on radio, on video. We had it on BET Uncut. We had it on MTV Sucker Free. So, it was a no-brainer to use that as the first single as him coming out, and that's going to expose all my artists at the same time.
When Mike did Who Mike Jones, was that his invention?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was genius.
He a marketing genius.
So
I give him his card on that.
Okay, so he, and the whole putting his phone number out there and stuff, that's something that he came up with first.
Yeah.
Y'all recognized and said, let's jump on this.
Yeah, well, we had already kind of been affiliated with him in the streets because he used to perform at this strip club called Ice Cream Castle, and he was also making personalized songs for the females that was in there stripping. And one of our homies, DJ Big Red, he was DJing in this club. The first time we heard Mike Jones was on one of his mixtapes. He was already telling us about him, and then we linked up with him and then decided to go ahead and move on because at the time we was looking for new artists anyway.
Who was the first artist you signed?
The first artist I signed was Archie Lee. The Mr. Master Archie Lee from the Swishahouse, because it's two Archie Lees. There's one that was with the Herschelwood Hardheads with Lil Keke too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever became of his career?
Well, we dropped the album on him back in, 2008, 2000 called the Mr. Master Archie Lee. We dropped that album on him. And then there was a period of time where when we was, I guess, revamping the Swishahouse after all the previous artists was gone, I re-signed Archie Lee when we got that deal.
Yeah. How did that Rap-A-Lot deal come to place? I mean, how did Swishahouse end up in bed with Rap-A-Lot?
Okay, come on. That's a long story. Nah, let me...
Give me the not so long version.
Okay. So, and we met with Jay about a year before that deal happened. And I went over there to Rap-A-Lot and I talked to Jay. And he wanted to offer us a situation.
This is the deal with Asylum, right?
No, this not with Asylum.
So
this before,
that was a deal before the Asylum deal?
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Jay may have still been with EMI, maybe. Was EMI the last ones or Virgin? What?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
One of them labels he was with, but I think he wanted to give us a situation, but I went over there, I hollered at him. I asked him, did he have because a distribution situation was the only situation I felt like I needed.
Was it strictly distribution or P&D?
Just
what you were looking for?
I was looking for just a straight distribution.
Okay.
I just need somebody to distribute it. But Jay said he didn't have nothing like that for me. So, parted ways. About a year later, I guess he did a deal with Asylum. We came in, I was visiting a lot of labels. I visited Universal, Sony, all the major labels back then, Republic, but nobody wanted to give me a label deal. Bam. Then here comes Asylum. They got this incubator label situation, which we was past the incubator stage of the game, but they had this situation. It was a P&D deal, and they offered it, and then a lawyer came back to us and said they didn't want to give us the money that we wanted. This is the story they telling us. But Jay will put up the money that y'all want to make the deal happen. And I was on some shit like this. Man, I don't give a damn who come up with the money. As long as we do the deal with them and I don't have a deal with Rap-A-Lot, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a indirect deal with Rap-A-Lot, but it ain't no deal with Rap-A-Lot where I'm signing and Jay having to pay me or any situation like that. So that's how that came to play. So they say he put the money up. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't care where the money come from. That is no concern of mine. I don't care. As long as I don't want to do a deal directly with Rap-A-Lot. I let it be known because I feel like we're an independent label that could stand on our own just like Rap-A-Lot or any other independent brand.
So Asylum cut your checks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they cut that check, and that's how Jay became a part of that situation.
Yeah.
Where they split the distribution fee or whatever.
Right. And how did you guys end up signing Slim?
We didn't sign Slim. We never had Slim sign.
Oh, okay. So y'all just did business with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slim started with us. Slim parted ways early. Slim, he's smart and always been on his business, so he started Boss Hog Outlaws.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man, I don't know why. Well, I guess I know why. Yeah, I always thought that Slim was signed to Swishahouse.
I mean, we all family. He started with Swishahouse, though, as a youngster.
Paul Wall and Chameleonaire. Did you sign them first?
No. Mad Hatter had Paul Wall and Chameleonaire signed. Swishahouse was like a big Wu-Tang, man. Like and all the artists was not signed with us because I was signing the artists as I put their projects out. So all the artists that signed with Swishahouse before it kind of like broke up and we signed Mike Jones and Magno, I only signed Archie Lee, Big Tiger. Let me see, Archie Lee, yeah. Archie Lee, Big Tiger. Those are the only two artists I really signed.
And everybody and all these other deals were partnership deals.
And then once we got the deal, after that I signed Mike Jones, I signed Magno. Then once the deal came, I brought Archie Lee and re-signed him. signed Cooter Bang. That's when Young Red, E-Class, Lil Keke, that's when the rest of the guys came. But we made a separate situation for Keke, Young Red, and E-Class, and it was under TF Records.
Now here's the deal. This is what I want. T Ferris?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's talk about T Ferris.
Yeah. Wait, hold on, let me tell you one more thing. The reason why we had to do that, because we supposed to have a big conglomerate, man, of artists. The reason why we had to do that is because of Asylum. Basically, all this divide and conquer, we had 2 artists that went platinum. They didn't want to give me a joint venture deal after that. And then they was trying to do everything to, like, stop from doing that joint venture deal. I'm talking about things like telling me to holler at Jay to fall back on his points, right? Because I guess, which it had nothing to do with me. I feel like they want to have 2 black men go against each other. That's my take on that. Because why would you tell me or ask me to ask Jay to fall back on his point when I ain't got no business with Jay? Y'all got business with Jay. So they let me think they was going to let me do a joint venture deal with Keke. So I shot out there to L.A. and hollered at Tom Wiley was the guy that was over Warner Brothers at the time. He was willing to give me a joint venture situation. But the dude was real with me. He was 100 with me. I want to say he the guy that may have discovered Tupac or something, or signed him first. But he told me straight up he wanted to do the deal with me. But he told me Leo and Todd Moskowitz had his arms tied. So I appreciate him for being 100 with me.
What did Leo have to do with it? I mean,
Leo that whole Def Jam regime had went over to Warner. Leo was the head over there at Warner, along with Todd Moskowitz.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that came from Def Jam was in that building. Kevin Lyles.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Todd going in those offices over there. Yeah, it was quite an operation. Speaking of T Ferris. T Ferris started with you in music, the whole thing. How did you and T Ferris meet?
Well, T Ferris was a youngster at the time, and I met him at Michael Watt's house. He was actually like selling
Michael Watt's house off Homestead.
Yeah, Rosewood. Yeah, because he was selling shirts. He was going to Smiley at the time, as a matter of fact, and he was selling shirts and CDs and tapes for Lester Roy, and that's how I met him. And I just seen that he was a hard worker, and I took him under my wing. Mm-hmm. And he never looked back, and he pretty much was the right-hand man. He was doing everything.
So, are you guys working together now? Or?
No. He's actually...
Well, I know he's over there with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
He's her manager?
I'm not sure his title over there, but yeah, I know he involved with her.
Yeah. T. Ferris, yeah, he got a solid reputation in the industry. So let's go back to Lil Keke. When you signed Lil Keke, that caught a lot of people by surprise since they had this so-called North Side, South Side beef thing going on. And, how were you able to bring Lil Keke over to Swishahouse?
I mean, we had been talking actually before Keke even signed the deal, we had been talking to Keke probably a year prior to that too. Mm-hmm. And, I guess he was just getting himself together to make the move, but when he finally made the move, I mean, we was happy. We was open arms. We about money, man. We don't care where you from.
Man, I didn't even know it was a damn beef between the North Side and South Side until like 7, 8 years later.
Yeah, I was traveling. You was ghetto born, man.
No, really, even when I was here, even when I was in the city, I still went wherever I wanted to go. I mean, because I looked at it. I'm just North Side was just where I was born, but I lay my head all over the city. I move around the city. I got friends all around the city. Yeah. I never saw any part of Houston as off limits to me because I'm welcome in hoods across America. I'm damn sure I ain't gonna be off off limits.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In my own city.
Yeah.
Like I always thought that was the most juvenile shit ever.
Yeah.
Like we're already divided enough, bro.
That's right. That's right.
And to say that, he's north side, man, them north side, them south side dudes. I never got caught up in that, bro.
Yeah, me neither.
And I see dudes still doing it today.
Yeah.
They still be on that dumb, immature shit.
Yeah.
And only a stuck dude would be on something like that.
Yeah.
Only a stuck dude would be on that type of time.
Yeah. But I mean, I used to, like, when we was younger, when we used to go to Gucci's and stuff like that, I mean, I used to, and I figure, like, maybe it was because maybe a guy from the south side might have been in our club, might have been hollering at one of these gals from the north that one of these dudes talked to or wanted to talk to and just knew they was from the south side and started flexing with them. It could have been that type of stuff, but that north side, south side, I want to say maybe it got a little stronger once that whole that auto theft, people going from this side to this side, stealing cars from each other sides of town for the swingers.
Maybe that's what it was, cause I was putting in work back then. You know, like Gucci's, I was putting in work, and I never put in work on a dude just because he was from the south side.
Yeah.
I never did that. To me, that's just the most dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is. So
I'm like you. Earth been my turf the whole time I've been on this earth.
You talking? I'm talking. I'm talking about, man. The earth been my turf. I like that. The earth is my turf.
Yeah, I was all over there at the Benz Club at
what's
that spot on Merworth?
The Rhinestone Wrangler.
I was at all them spots.
The Rhinestone Wrangler. Hell, some of the hottest clubs in the city. Was on the south side. We had to go to the south side.
Yeah.
And then we had some of the hottest spots. Starting with shit. What I'm trying to say. Flashes and the one that I eventually ended up buying was Show. We bought what was that name of that club we bought?
It was all 45, not the Palladium.
Yeah, no, 45 and Cross Timbers.
Yeah,
Bone Shakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, man, like, let's we got bigger fish to fry, bro. Like, we got bigger fish to fry than what damn side of town you from.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people didn't like that move, but, man, Keke made a grown man decision.
And knocked it out the park with the album.
He did.
That song where he talk about growing up, and
I'm a G.
Say, man.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah. And one thing people don't understand, it's a business. We never tried to take Keke's identity away from him, and we know he started with DJ Screw. We never tried to tell him, hey man, you can't claim Southside. Hey man, that's your hood. Be you.
Yeah.
And that's how that pretty much worked out.
And y'all went and got that paper, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all went and got that paper, as you should.
Yeah.
Micah 5000 watts. And I know this is a question I should be asking Mike, but since Mike's not here, I'm sure you can answer this question. I'm sure you have the information. So when Mike was doing his chopped and screwed stuff, right, there was some criticism about, him trying to, bite off of DJ Screw's style or whatever. But, what do you remember about that as far as when Mike started doing the chopped and screwed? And did you feel like Mike was doing his own thing, or was this an evolution or a continuation of what DJ Screw was doing?
I mean, Watts was pretty much doing his own thing, but now, like, later on, I understand a lot of guys' criticism of what Watts was doing is that he was calling it Screw. And that's Screw's name. So from what I understand, that's why the people had a problem with it, because you can't call it Screw if Screw didn't do it.
Okay.
But it was slow, it was slow. So Watts ended up just started calling here Swishahouse remixes.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't no situation where Watts trying to just steal his style or something. It's a genre The man created it. It was popping. The North Side didn't have no representation as far as rapping on these slowed down mixes, and Watts created a lane for the North Side to be able to express themselves on the mic. You know, because all DJ Screw tapes were just South Side, and then with the Plex, that was on some of those tapes. Like, you know, don't no guy from the North Side want to ride around jamming a tape where they getting this, they talking down on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though it was jamming.
Yeah. That Hell is Hot series.
The Day Hell Broke Loose?
The Day Hell Broke Loose.
Yeah.
The Day Hell Broke Loose.
Yeah.
How many volumes was that? Like 5 or 6 or something like that?
No, it's 3 of them.
It's only 3?
And you on the last one.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Asylum kind of sabotaged that project.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have, Lil Keke wasn't a part of the Asylum situation, but he was all over that project. So they basically sabotaged that. But we're about to re-release that project, though.
I was about to say that was a very successful. That made you a lot of money.
Yeah, it was a good project, but I don't think it reached the full potential it could have done had they not done what they done.
So is this going to be The Day Hell Broke Loose 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's coming soon.
Man, let's go back to Forest Brook, man. You know, let's go back to your old stomping grounds.
You know, I went to Smiley.
Oh, that's right. You went to Smiley.
But I went to Forest Brook once the first summer for summer school.
Okay. I don't know why I always thought you went to Forest Brook. Okay.
I just went there one time for summer school, but me and you had a class together at Kirby Middle School. You never remember it. I always bring it up because we had this teacher named Miss Pradia, and the only reason why I knew because she used to call your full name. Willie Dennis. She would call your full name. Couldn't help but to know who you was back then. And then you was in a talent show.
You remember that talent show?
Yeah, you played Stevie Wonder.
And came in second place to my buddy. Well, actually, the group.
The one that was dancing, popping.
Me, Ronald Hopes, his brother Derek, and Michael Evans, who lived next door to us in Timber Trails. We had the group, the Fantastic Four, and we won first place. We was dancing. We was doing Michael Jackson. We did Shake Your Body Down to the Ground.
Okay. See, I don't remember that, but I remember Randy. Randy and Yancey. You remember them dudes? They called themselves Triumph Live that did Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
I remember they were popping when popping first came out.
Yeah. Kirby.
Yeah.
That Kirby was crazy. You remember Richard, what was Richard's last name? Richard, start with a B. Light skin, green eyes.
Huh.
And I think Richard went to Smiley too. But he got popped early on and he went to prison.
Richard.
He was like 15 years old or something when he went to prison.
Not right off.
Okay, we'll leave that there. But anyway, man, how did you get your business acumen? Because you've always been like a business dude, serious about business, and also off in the cut, reserved, watching, thinking.
Yeah.
I could always tell when I see you thinking about something. You might be speaking, and you could be speaking to somebody, talking to them about something, and you can be looking over here, or looking over there, and in that head, is spinning.
Yeah.
Things are going on in between your ears.
Well, man, I'm gonna be honest. I came in the game for the fortune, not the fame. That's why I always kind of stayed low key. Like, man, for years, people, unless you was in the industry, you didn't know who I was. You knew my name because the artist would name drop me in the songs, but nobody really knew who I was. So I felt like people can't hit what they can't see. So I always wanted to be in the background. I wanted to be like, I used to read them album liners. I used to see all these executive producer names of people that we didn't know or never see. I said, them people making all the money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. But you know, I also started off trying to rap too back in the game.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that before.
Yeah.
What was your rap name?
G-Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
was
a couple.
You in a group?
Well, it was a group of us, but it wasn't no group. But I remember we had a song called Northside Niggas and a song called P on Homestead.
Okay.
And those songs was doing good, like on the north side. But it came to a point where, hey, man, that rap ain't paying no bills, man. I got to do something else. But I still always...
So what did you go do?
Well, I was working at the penitentiary at the time, but I was still reading books about music. I read that Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business. And then when White Swisher mixes started popping off and Slim and Lamario and all those artists started becoming a part of it, I took that as an opportunity I started a label, and initially I was thinking, man, I'm going to just holler at them artists that Whites are breaking on the streets. But the shit moved so fast and got to blowing up, I just like, hey, man, let's just partner up. So we ended up partnering on it.
Mm. Now, what kind of job did you hold in the penitentiary?
CO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing you experienced while you were there? And how long were you there?
8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
Oh, you seen something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What unit?
I started at this unit called Ramsey 2, went to this unit called High Tower in Dayton, and then the last unit I went to was the unit in Tascasita. We opened that unit. That Pam Lynchner State Jail. I don't know what they call it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was the last unit I worked at.
What's the worst thing you ever seen there?
I done seen people hang themselves. People getting stabbed. It was a full-blown riot at High Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seen a lot of shit. Black dude got clicked on by about 30 Hispanics. A lot of shit, man. Some shit I can't even mention. Just...
Did you go into your job every day thinking that your life was in danger, or did you feel pretty secure when you went?
Nah, well, they tell you to never be complacent when you're working in that place, which I wouldn't. I mean, I was on my P's and Q's at all times, but man, I was a pretty laid back dude. I'm that firm but fair dude. I ain't gonna bring you no dope in or do no shit like that. But like little bullshit, you wanna go and eat again or some shit like that, or you wanna go grab some commissary from. Hey, I ain't tripping on shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I was just laid back, and then I knew a lot of people in the penitentiary too. I ran across a lot of partners that I grew up with. Knew a lot of dudes that was from Dallas and other surrounding towns in Texas. But I never really had no problem. You know, it was a respect thing. Like, I respected them, they respected me. Hey, man, whenever I was on a tank or wing, that shit ran on automatic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What'd you do when you have one of your guys that's a CEO that's breaking the rules or just basically, like, violating one of the inmates? What'd you do?
I mean, I holler at them on the side, but I mean, it ain't nothing really I can do as far as, because at the same time, it's a camaraderie among the officers, but, man, you could pull the person to the side. Hey, man, you could have handled it like this, man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ever open up one of them cages and let them boys have at it?
Oh, no. See, let me tell you something. They didn't even fight. When I was working, they didn't fight because they gonna fight.
Yeah. And
I'm not gonna call nobody unless there's some serious injuries happening or you know what I'm saying? Because I remember one time, and this was one of those newer that state jail, and I was in the picket, and I could see on the camera that the dudes were squabbling, and it was count time. So they were through squabbling, but when I went around to do the count, I just asked, hey, everybody all right in here?
Yeah.
did my counting, left. Everybody said it was cool, so yeah. No, they not. Hey, if you have a fight around me, hey, y'all gonna fight. You can't be scared trying to start some shit and have a squabble not around me.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna squabble.
Did you get in any fights in school?
I got in a few fights in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Because you so damn laid back, man. I can just see you like, hey, man, that ain't what you want.
I'm gonna tell you something. When I was young, had my old man not been the way he was, I was a class clown.
Uh-huh.
Till he came up there and corrected me. And after that, I stopped being a class clown. When I was younger, I was a class clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had one of those pops that was involved with everything I did as far as school and me being a kid, you know, my old man popping up at the school all the time. I really didn't like that. What he was doing was supporting me when we have games or something. I didn't like that. But then I looked at it from another perspective. It's a kid over here that don't have a daddy that's doing that for him, and he feels some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I had an old man that really supported everything I did.
Can you recall the most valuable lesson that he taught you?
Most valuable? I want to say he always told me to treat people like I would want to be treated. Mm-hmm. That was one of the main things he always stressed, you know.
Did he have conversations with you about girls?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my daddy was the type, he had, because this was my stepmother, but he had her, we went and got books about sex from the library when I was about 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because he wanted to teach it to me instead of being taught to me by my peers.
Right.
Which, you know, kids now are way more advanced at a young age than we were. But we were still advanced, though. But he wanted us to know the proper names of the genitals and, you know, birth control, condoms. Yeah, he taught us that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people be scared to have those type of conversations with their kids, thinking, I guess, it's going to promote them to go ahead and start doing it. But no, you need to let them know and make them aware of it before they friends and, you know, they find out the hard way and end up with a kid at a young age.
And here's why I ask you that, because I haven't been around you a lot, but I've watched you from a distance for a long time. You've always carried yourself with honor. And when I see you with your child or I see you with your wife, you always carry yourself like a man, like a man's man. And I ask you that because I wanted to know, like, how much of an impact did your father have on the way that you move today in your own family?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he definitely had a big impact on me as far as family, because you usually live by example.
Yeah.
And I watched him. He always made sure everything was taken care of. I mean, but he inspired me at the same time because my old man, he had some good jobs, but he would be working a lot. And I used to always say, man, I don't want to be in a position where I have to work that much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kind of, you know, that gave me that entrepreneurial spirit.
How long have you been married?
Oh, man, you're going to get me in trouble if I can't get this right. I think maybe about... That's crazy when you ain't...
This ain't going good. Right?
Hold on. I got to do the math. I'm going to say about right at 17 years.
Right.
Yeah, it's been about 17 years.
Yeah. And you only have one son, right?
Yeah. Well, I have a daughter. My daughter, she's 32.
Okay.
Yeah.
From a previous relationship.
Yeah.
Right. But your son is how old?
13.
And what is he aspiring to become?
An artist.
He wants to be an artist.
He can sing.
So he sings.
And he can rap.
What?
And he could hear a song about 2 times, and he be killing me. He be knowing these songs so quick.
So is he going to take on your surname, or is he gonna go and do something different? He's going with the Guidry, or is he gonna do something different?
No, he gonna probably. I don't know. He probably gonna have a stage name, I think. But
What's his first name?
Anthony.
A dash.
But yeah, we call him AC. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna keep that in mind though.
Yeah, A dash.
But
And your daughter does what?
she lives in L.A. She do something in the fashion world.
Okay.
She work at this place out there in L.A. where all the stars come before these big events. To some of these dresses they rent, some of they buy. This place houses jewelry from different designers, clothing from different designers. Male and female go to this place. Like I'm talking about big name, like Kim Kardashians and them type of people. A-list celebrities go to this place to get their wardrobes for these Emmys and these Oscars and all that kind of stuff.
She making big money doing it?
Yeah.
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 Does she want to like go deeper into the fashion industry, like maybe get a clothing line or own a boutique or something like that?
Well, that's me. Honestly, I'm telling her she need to get her own place like these people have that house designers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have the network.
She got the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to inspire her to do.
Taking it.
Because them people make some big money.
Yeah, she's taking and do her own thing.
Yeah.
Are you mentoring any artists, or like not artists, but mentoring any aspiring entrepreneurs who want to get in this music industry?
I mean, from time to time, when any of them call me and speak with me or want to get some information, yeah. I do it like that, you know, because I'm like open book. They can call me and ask me anything. I'm gonna give them the game.
Yeah. So let's go back to what you alluded to earlier. You was talking about how you stepped away from the game because basically, you became, a little discouraged by the disloyalty that's in the game that a lot of artists display. That disloyalty is still there pretty much.
Oh, yeah,
so how
sure.
do you get that? Because it's easy for an artist to just play the role until they get in good, and then the moment they get in good, they flip the switch.
Yeah, but I get with them and kick it with them, man, and check out their character. That's what I do.
So
You can pretty much tell
sign-
ahead of time because, man, I done dealt with so many people. I'm talking about through the streets, through the prison. I done dealt with different characters. Man, I always run into people who act similar to this person and that person. They have certain characteristics. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I knew before Mike Jones did what he was going to do. Just based on conversations, hearing him talk. You know what I'm saying? Hearing him talk about other people. I know what type of individual he was out the gate, man. But I had that paperwork. I mean, and he's so brainwashed that now these people got him believing that we have some money that belong to him. This Warner, if they gave us this money, they should be able to produce to you a statement or a receipt showing that they gave us this money, that they got you on this wild goose chase looking for. So, I mean, he easily manipulated.
Man, how big of a problem is it with majors trying to steal independent labels, artists?
Oh, man, I think they've been doing that since the beginning of time, honestly. You just gotta, I feel like you gotta go in now with, your team gotta be stiff, man. Y'all gotta be silent when you're going into a situation, especially when you're dealing with outsiders. And you can't go in now with weak links, because they're gonna figure out who that weak link is.
Yeah, it damn sure is. Was there any time when you was getting the money and everything was going good that you felt that the people at Warner or Asylum was like really appreciative of the work that you were putting in and the money you was helping them make?
I don't feel like they were. No.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember that time.
Because I asked that because usually at least when you're an artist, they know how to kiss your ass. And when you're winning, they know how to be right there. Everything you say is right. They're gonna get you whatever you need. I mean, man, you can't do no wrong. The minute that record ain't being spanned on the radio, you ain't getting no sales. You can't get them on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. And they make more money if they have an individual artist signed than they do with dealing with a label. And
But it's less headache also, though, if they're dealing with a label, as
Yep.
opposed to dealing directly with an artist.
And that's what you would think. But these people, especially, and for some reason, they just, I don't know. They knew Mike was the weak link. He was the so-called star at the time. And they just pursued to try to find a way to dismangle our situation, which they didn't do, but I feel like if I would have had better representation going into that situation, I would have been better off.
Mike sold, what, 2 million? It was his first album, that was 2 million, right?
Yeah.
And so, and 2 years later, I think those numbers were like, what? It was less than 50,000 sales the first week.
What's that on?
That when his follow-up album, his sophomore?
Yeah. I want to say the second one might have been, 50, 60 the first week.
And, back today, that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty much a hit record today.
Yeah.
But back then, that was considered really bad.
Yeah. I mean, to the people, yeah. At that time, in that era, yeah, that was 60,000 was bad. Because that first album, he did like 181 or maybe 200,000 the first week.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big difference. And all that inner turmoil that was going on, that was a lot of money lost right there.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money lost. Because we supposed to backdoor that album and do the same thing. And that's why I couldn't understand, why wouldn't they want to give me a joint venture situation? I got 2 artists that went platinum out the gate. I don't know how many independent labels did that.
So it just sounded like to me that was just a fundamental disrespect for you.
Yeah.
It just seemed like they never just really just respected you as a businessman, and for all the money that you made them.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be hurtful.
Oh yeah.
Not just disappointing, but that had to be hurtful.
I mean, it ain't gonna make you want to work harder for them if they doing it like that either.
Yeah.
So that's where we created that whole situation for Keke. And I had the opportunity to sign other artists that eventually made noise, but I didn't want to put them in that same situation I was already in. Ain't no use in me bringing you into this what they call the burning bed. So I just kind of that's what really kind of made us kind of like fade out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was no need to. Why am I gonna work hard like a slave and I'm not gonna be rewarded for it?
So Swishahouse is back.
Yeah, we never left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get back active on the artist side.
Well, back for the first time, so to speak, because it's been a minute, like you say, like it's been a minute since you've been like in the limelight or as far as the mainstream, the lips of the mainstream, and do you have the first artist that you're gonna roll out?
No, I don't have the first artist yet.
So right now you just pretty much like putting the warships in place.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do movies. Are you gonna do reality shows?
Nah, I done kind of had the opportunity to be part of reality shows. That ain't something I want to do. I guess that's something I never aspired to do. Not like like the ones you see on TV where
all that old filth.
Yeah, I can't do
just
it.
Disrespected.
I can't do it, man.
Yeah. What if they came to you and said, "Man, we'll give you $5 million. Come on, G. Come on,
Man.
G, man. Come on, do it, man."
Man, my integrity mean more to me. I tell you what, if I could be on there, if I don't have to say that much,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get on there and act no fool for no, you know what I mean, for no
Right.
TV. Nah,
Well, and then they're gonna want you to come on there with Yvonne.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't gonna do it.
Because it's all about the relationships between guys and girls, or girls and girls, and guys.
Yeah.
That's how they do it now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Yvonne and had some good opportunities come her way regarding reality show, but it wasn't on the type of reality show that we used to seeing, the toxic reality shows. It
Right.
wasn't no shit like that. You know what I mean?
did she do it? Did she take up?
No, she just in talks with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you got to be careful with that, because a lot of times when people do these reality shows, they break up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the moment they do those reality shows, it's like a death sentence to the relationship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. With the toxic ones or any
Yeah.
of them?
Well, yeah, all of them toxic to me, pretty much. Damn near all of those reality shows are toxic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one that's not. If it doesn't have something to do with like just I don't know, like fixing cars or
Yeah.
fishing,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bird scouting or something, it's all toxic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw just yesterday, I came across this reality show that's based in Africa. I think it's South Africa.
I've seen that on Netflix, I believe.
Yeah, it's like rich and famous in Africa's rich and famous, something like that.
Yeah,
but
I know what you're talking about.
horrible, horrible, horrible idea.
Yeah.
Horrible idea.
Yeah.
And from what I understand is that the show is in its third season.
Okay.
And they be on there doing the creams and all that kind of stuff. They doing the whitening creams and yuck. I mean, just
So it sounds like they following America or something.
yeah, man. They following the worst
Yeah.
of America.
Yeah.
And I would say to the Africans all over, wherever you are, y'all need to destroy that right now. Don't let it go any further than what it's went. The West is a mess. You do not want to emulate anything that's happening in the West. The West is morally corrupt. You don't want no parts of this. It's morally corrupt. Get rid of it right now. I don't give a damn about people talking about, well, we need to get our shine on. If you want to shine, man, y'all show off some of them diamonds y'all digging up over there. Do not support that reality show stuff. Destroy it. When these producers from the West come over there and they try to do it, kick them out on their heads, because ain't nothing good gonna come from it. Would you do a reality show? Like, I mean, you're a boss, so you don't have to really wait on anybody to bring you a deal. You can actually create your own thing. Like, I don't think that you really understand the gravity of your influence. Like, in terms of, like, the way the life that you live. Like, people would be very interested in seeing what you do behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you really understand that.
I mean, like I say, long as it's not toxic, I could be a part of it.
Yeah.
It ain't for to be no hollering, talking shit, fighting and all that. I ain't
No.
for to do it like that.
No, it shouldn't be. It wouldn't even look right.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, man, they got Dash, man. Oh, hell.
Nah.
Yeah. Your son is singing and rapping in today's industry, which is really full of a lot of toxicity.
Yeah.
There's damn near every rapper you can think of got a beef with somebody. And these beefs today are different than they were in our day,
Oh, yeah.
In our day, most of those beefs, they stayed on the records. They didn't get past the studio.
Mm-hmm.
These days, I mean, these kids are knocking each other's heads off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, does that concern you?
I mean, yeah and no, because he not going to be that type of artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to, I don't even want him to even, yeah. He ain't been in no hood or none of that shit. Even though the suburban kids, look like they out there plexing harder than the dudes in the hood. You know, trying to emulate that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, my son ain't gonna be that type of artist. And then I also want him to get in acting as well, because he want to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, and modeling, his picture is still on the, what is it, the Children's Houston Library. No, what is it? The museum, the Children's Museum. His picture is still on the side of the bridge and on the front of that building. And that's something he did when he was about 5 or 6 years old.
So y'all roll by there and show it to him from time to time. Well, he know now.
Yeah, he know it's there.
Yeah, he
know
probably.
it's there. I'm talking, even when COVID came, they didn't even take the picture down. They just put a mask on him.
Huh.
Yeah, the picture's still up there.
Yeah. That's dope. So he got more like that Drake type style?
Yeah, he'll be more like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really, really good money in hip hop. It's still good money in it. And it's still, a lot of integrity in it if you carry yourself with that type of energy.
Yeah.
And when you look at the youngsters, at least most of them that got their head knocked off, or that got in a jam, it's the energy that they surround themselves with.
Yeah.
It's that energy, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you resemble who you assemble.
Yeah. And I remember when we was doing it, because we had a lot of dudes that had just got the penitentiary rolling with us too, and a lot of dudes from the north side. But if them dudes wanted to play, I kind of tried to keep them dudes, hey, we can't be tripping over this shit like that. This business, man. I used to have to tell them, man, say, hey, don't be so quick to wanna do something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because my thing, I feel like I was responsible for these guys, and I didn't want to see nobody get killed or kill nobody and have to go do a bunch of time. So, if it ever came to a point where we just had to and there wasn't no other option, that's different. But, man, we don't be out here just plexing and tripping for nothing.
Mm.
Because that's that whole era, that Death Row, all these different, even rap a lot, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Do you, like at one point, H-Town was on fire, and you was part of that movement. Like every time you look up a new artist popping up out of H-Town, and they're going gold and platinum.
Yeah.
And it looked like for a moment that, H-Town was going to be, the mecca for hip-hop.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, skirt, hit the brakes. Do you feel like that you did enough to maintain, what we had going on, that movement?
I mean, I feel like I did enough, but I feel like the person who really could have stopped a lot of shit from happening, this is just my opinion. I feel like Jay, if anybody was for everybody to get along, work together, not be tripping, I think Jay would have been that person that could have held everything together. You know what I mean? That's just my honest opinion. Yeah,
I mean that's a good assessment, and I think Jay might agree with that. And I think that he probably would sit back and look at it now and say to himself, "Yeah, I probably could have done that. I could have been more proactive, instead of reactive, right?"
Yeah.
Because, but I think what happens a lot of times is that, and you probably saw yourself at this point too, when you are doing your thing and you are already, kind of wrapped up in your own internal, struggles and things, and you getting your money and you doing your thing. Sometimes you like, man, they ain't gonna listen. Shit, they ain't gonna listen to me. Them boys, they hard-headed, and you don't want to even deal with that shit. You don't really want to, do all this fighting for somebody who really ain't trying to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, that's definitely understood.
Because that happens a lot, like you doing your thing, and because I hear people saying stuff like that a lot, like, man, why don't these guys over here just have a conversation with you know, young boy NBA, or why don't they just talk to this guy, this kid? Why don't you?
Yeah.
And the thing is that a lot of times these guys ain't trying to hear nothing you saying, or sometimes they might be open to hearing what you're saying, but in your mind, you're thinking they're not going to listen because you're watching how they have reacted thus far, right?
Yeah.
You're watching how they, from a distance, you watch how they move and how they react, and you say, man, I don't really want to put myself in that position because if you say the wrong thing, or, I don't get that reaction, and I'm trying to help, and if it looks like that it's not going to be appreciated, I'd just rather not even speak on it at all.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint of Houston, of our city, right? And I think because this is what I believe, because we were always independent, no one really ever had to work together because we was getting so much money on the underground scene with the mixtapes. You had all these different entities that was surviving without, we could be our own clique. We don't have to do this because there was a lot of different cliques during that mixtape era, and we was making a lot of money.
But I think what happened, and that's a good point, but what happened is that when the lows did show up, when the lows did happen, when there was some struggle, it was easier for any one of those entities to be dismantled when they were standing alone. But to your point, had we unified,
as a collective,
it would have been a lot more difficult for anybody to stop. In fact, they wouldn't have been able to stop us, point blank, period.
Yeah. And I saw where it was fading because I think me and Jay had even had a conversation. Hey, man, we got to stay on top of this shit or it's going to be going to Florida or somewhere next, because hip-hop move in different waves to different coasts and cities and shit, it was a time when East Coast was popping, time West Coast was popping, then the South was popping, and man, we just I saw when it was going down, and then I seen people start trying to work together, but it was too late though. It was gone, just that quick. And like I say, we didn't have no ambition to keep moving until we got our situation straight financially, like our deal. And and that's another thing. They try to weaken your brand by messing with your money. And we really ain't really catch on because I got about 6 or 7 independent projects that's not even attached to that deal at all. And I think that's one of the best things we could have done was not let them put our previous albums in that catalog when we did that deal. So we still have catalog that's not even associated with that deal. But when they started messing with our money, we didn't see it right off because we were making so much money on mixtapes and the other independent projects we had. So it ain't really kicking in and bothering us until about probably 2 or 3 years later. And that's just how that's how good the money was.
Yeah. When it's time for you to go and you ain't got no more, how you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a guy who had good character, treated everybody fair, and just a good solid dude. I was solid.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have any problem being remembered that way. Thank you for coming on the show, man.
Appreciate it, Willie. Thank you for
Ladies and
having me.
gentlemen, Henry Guidry. G-Dash, fam. No more talk.